Welcome to part 2 of my Thunderace forks. So what I've just done now is that bolt in there, there's a bolt up there, put a little bit to see it there, look. I've just cracked that. It's an 8mm socket, Allen key socket, but I had to use a bar on the end as well because it was quite tight. So I'm going to take off now the cap at the top. So what I'll do is, when I've got that undone, I will come back to you. So I've undone that now. So what I'm going to do now is undo that and then detach this cap. So this was held on by 14mm nut, and you put a 17mm nut on the top of that there, and you can get it undone that way. Okay, so that will now go in my box in there. So the rod then that's left, so that's what's left. That just pulls out. It's basically just a rod of metal, and then if you lift that up, you should see the camera's a bit blurred, isn't it? There's a tiny little clip there where my finger is. That needs to come off now. Right, so I've got that little clip off now from there, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, that's all it is, and it's a bloody fiddly little thing. So now I can take the spring out. The spring should come out now. Well, obviously I've got to take that nut off first, so let's get that nut off and then I'll take the spring out. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spring out now. So I need to take that little nut off. If you take that nut off and let it go, then that will eventually just fall down and drop into that. So you sort of like need to keep hold of that. So now it's going to be a bit hard because I'll be doing this with one hand because I'm trying to film. So off comes that cap. Out comes the spring. Oops. You can see there's a lot of oil on that, dripping off. Oh, shit. So I'll just put that straight on there and just let that drain a little bit. Them springs are not right long, are they? I thought they'd have been a lot longer than that. So we can still see that now, look. So we're going to empty the oil out in a minute. So what I'll do is I'll empty the oil into that glass jar there. So we'll be back in a minute. So I've got the oil out now. Now in this instance there should be I think 590 millilitres. There, I don't know how many I've got about there. 550, something like that. Just under a pint. So anyway, the other thing as well is when the spring comes out, you can see that it's tapered at the top. You know, the width of the spring at the bottom, let's say it's 1 inch. At the top it's 3/4 of an inch, and that's how it goes in, like that. So when you're putting this back in, but I'll show you that in a minute anyway, the tapered goes to the top. That's why I've left that white bush thing in it, so I know which way it goes back in. So what I'm going to do now is take this bottom bolt out, and then I should be able to then lift all this. See how much easier that goes down without any fluid in now. So I'll take that out now. So I've undone that bolt in there now, and when you lift this up, that rod should stay there. I apologise for the video quality, it's just that I'm trying to do this with one hand. Okay, so can you see that? Right, still a tiny bit of oil left in that, look. So all I'm doing, oops. Right, so there was still a bit of oil left in that damper rod, so all I did was just wank it a little bit. And as you can see now, the oil level's gone up to 600. So, and if we turn this over now, there, look, that bolt comes out. So the next step now is to get the stanchion out of the fork leg. Bear with us. So before we can get the stanchion out, we've got to take this old seal out. So I just thought I'd show you. Look how good that dust seal is. That's in perfect condition. I might reuse that. So anyway, let's just slide that off, the dust seal off. Again, apologies, I'm trying to do this. So now you can see that's full of shit in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean all that up and then I'll get the circlip out. So I'll be back when I've done that. Bloody hell, right. I managed to do it. That ring is rusty as out, so I think I'm going to have to get a new one of them. I've got the stanchion out, so I'm replacing that bottom bush anyway, but I had to heat it up a little bit. It's just taken me half an hour to get this out. Should have been a 10-minute job. As you can see, the seal's still stuck in. It's just, it was corroded, it's collapsed, so now I've got to piss about getting that out. So as soon as I get that out, I'll come back to you. Right, that is now one fork completely dismantled. I know you're not supposed to do, but I've even taken out the damping, rebound, whatever it is. That there, look. So now this is what I've done. It doesn't mean to say that you will have to do the same. I've done it because I wanted to completely get this bare, because I'm thinking about getting it blasted. This tube is knacked. Well, it ain't knacked, but can you hear that? So I don't know what to do with that. But anyway, we shall see. So the next job is I'm going to get a load of cleaner and I'm going to clean it all, get everything absolutely spotless, and then I will start putting it back together again.